Right, preparing live stream. Then I have to mute it so we don't get echo. So hold on. Preparing live stream. Then I have to mute it so we don't get echo. So hold on. All right. Welcome to Conversations with Kim. This is, if you know me, I'm Kim Kasparian, your success genie, your go-to person when you want to grow your business to 7 figures and beyond, living the life you want to live right now. And I am with the fabulous Fabienne Marneau. She is, we love to call her our soul alchemist. And I'm going to let her introduce herself to you, and you're going to join this conversation that I'm excited to have with her. If you're new to me, I'm the creator of Success Genie. It's a growth coaching company that helps business entrepreneurs do this thing called life in a world-class way. And this is my series called Conversations with Kim. Basically, I'm introducing you to my personal peeps, the people I know, like, and trust, who I have gone to when I've needed resources, or who I would go to if I needed to do what it is they do. And I'm introducing them so when you need to expand your dream team, you have a place to come to get the support you need. So with that, I want to say hi, Fabienne.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
That's about the extent of my French, so sorry. Please introduce yourself to the Success Genie community.
Well, I'm Fabienne Marneau, and like Kim said, I like to call myself the alchemist, the healing alchemist, because I help my clients to remember who they are. We are a soul incarnated on this planet, and whatever is our life purpose, whatever are our gifts, I believe that our destiny is to use those gifts to be happy and successful in whatever it is that we are supposed to do. So alchemists mean transformation, and soul, like I said, it's who we truly are. So like that, we combine, we go back to the essence of who we are and what we are meant to be doing, our destiny, our life purpose. How I do it, it's really it's completely adaptable to the needs and the personality of each one of my clients. I work a lot with what I call spiritual high achievers, and I actually have a group coaching with that name, because that's really who I am personally. I always had been a high achiever. I had my business for 35 years. So I am an entrepreneur. I had a DESPA holistic center for all those years. And spiritual, because I was born clairvoyant, what gave me the ability to sense, to feel, to know what is going on in my clients, in first, before I had clients, with people around me. I always had been helping my friends since I am a child, really. I think I started working on people when I was 12, actively, but 9 years old, on my mother who had pain, physical pain, and I would be able to alleviate leg pain or whatever she was feeling. Then I grew up having friends always asking me for advice. So I feel I had been a coach all my life. And then I spent my life studying. Initially, I studied law. That's why I understand business, and I have a mind that is very structured for understanding business and having a good right-left brain, as well as being an artist. I paint, I do soul painting, I do feng shui. So I help people in every way possible, but basically to go back to the root of their challenges. If you're a business person, because that's the main customer or people that Kim is helping, so I assume a lot of you have their own business. Well, as she always tells you, your inner game is going to reflect the results that you're going to have with your business. She keeps telling that, and she's so right on, because what we believe, what we are, is going to reflect on the results in our life. If you believe in yourself, you're going to have a successful business. If you don't, it's going to be very hard. You're going to struggle all the time. And money, for example, since business are about money, right? If you have a business, it's because you want to use your gift, your knowledge, your services, your products. But ultimately, you need to make an income, you need to make a profit. And money is nothing but energy. Therefore, it totally makes sense to work with the inner game first. If you have blocks from belief, your self-limitation, self-talk that are limiting you, you are never going to be able to be wealthy. Or you will be for a short time and you lose it completely with any new challenge that come up, because you won't have the strength. You are not going to build up the, all the qualities and habits that are going to keep you with a high level of energy and knowledge. So that's why I love what Kim is doing, because she really makes very well her spirituality, the way that she understands how things are in for real, and her knowledge in business. And so you can definitely follow her advice. She knows what she's doing, and she's a beautiful soul.
Oh, thank you, Fabienne. So let's unpack this for everybody. So if you are new to me, here's why they call me the Success Genie. Because like Fabienne says, I really am good at listening to what you really want versus what you tell me you think you have to do to get what you want. And Fabienne and I are like this two sides of the same coin. I too was a natural empath at a very young age. And I always say, like, my family, it was a combination of like Roseanne and the Addams Family. All that was like, oh, you had a premonition. Oh yeah, we all have that. So I was very fortunate to grow up. My great grandmother, I'm generations of Armenians and the genocide of 1915. And she brought a lot of all the old world knowledge here. So like energy and spiritual and soul was like something we talked about at the kitchen table. Even now that they're all on the other side, when my cousins go to energy readers or mediums, they're like, they're having a party over there. I'm like, yeah, I hear them all the time. It's just how we roll. And what I love about what Fabienne said is what I tell you is remember who you are, right? So Fabienne is my like Dwayne Dyer, right? She speaks a lot from a place of knowing, a place from knowledge, really understanding that we're spiritual beings in human containers. And the reason why I use the genie metaphor is because when I tell you, like, pretend I'm a real genie, you guys stop giving me all the blah, 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 want, like Charlie Brown school teacher, and you tell me what you want, what you really, really want. And that is so possible. And the lamp that you always see me going like this with is a metaphor, right? I love movies. I teach through music and movies, and, Aladdin, the lamp, infinite being of power, itty bitty living space. The lamp is a metaphor for your mind. And the problem is, and why I've brought Fabienne here, is you have forgotten who you are. You're not your mind. You're the master of the mind, the lamp. And sometimes just knowing that it's enough. It's enough. And sometimes you need a little bit more. And you might have done all the business skill set work, and you might know how your mind works, and you've been working it like a champ. But there seems to be this invisible block, or you see patterns, and that footsteps is my husband. So that's just how we roll in the genie bottle. Sometimes you feel like there's an invisible barrier that you can feel, but you can't quite put your feeling on it. This is where I love what Fabienne does. because she has the business savvy. She knows that what you believe you receive, and she knows why that's true because she knows how the brain is wired. But she also knows that you are bigger and more powerful than you think you are. You might be hearing for the first time, what? I'm not just my mind. Nope. You're much bigger, you're more powerful, and you are a spiritual creature. And we're not taught this in school. I was fortunate enough to learn this around the kitchen table with my great grandmother, with my great aunts, with my mother, and I had a lot of support. And not only did they grow me up in my little human form, they schooled me and helped me grow up with my spiritual side. And just to be honest, I come from the school of hard knocks. As my dad says, you might not have a PhD, but you got a PhD in the school of life. Fabienne talks about that other part of you that knows what to do, knows why you're here, and is trying to get your attention, and you might not be recognizing it. So Fabienne, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Kim.
So if alchemy, right? If you guys know what alchemy, and one of the greatest books ever written was The Alchemist, just saying, it kind of gives you into, turn lead into gold transformation, but a great book. Fabienne is the living embodiment of a teacher who can help you tap in to what I call your genie, the part of you that will never lie to you, never steer you the wrong way, that is calling for you to play a bigger game. And it's all about energy. So Fabienne is one of the few people that I've ever met without taking one of my classes that understood what my energy management was. So I found a person like another sister from another mister. But everything is energy. And when you understand that, success is so simple. So, and if you're a part of my tribe, y'all came to me worried about the money. How are you going to create the money? Or you're making the money, but you're miserable because you're an infinite power of possibility living in an itty bitty living container. I wanted Fabienne to share with you some of her experience, some of her clients' journey on how she helped them marry their business savvy with their soul purpose. And to give you some kind of insights about when is your problem skill set? When is it mindset? And when is it your genie trying to get your attention? Fabienne, could you talk a little bit about, like, how do you know when it's time to call the soul alchemist? Right? We've got coaches all around us. Everyone's teaching something.
Right.
How do we discern that we're disconnected from life purpose?
As soon as we have a block, we feel overwhelmed, burnout, stuck with doubt and anything that doesn't feel good. And it can be even manifesting physically, because remember, the body is our friend. It's not our enemy. If you have headache, if you have stomach issues, low back pain, anything like that, then you call the alchemist, because there is a sign that there is something emotional that is triggering you and saying, crying for help. The body is your friend. It's telling you, help, help, help. Don't ignore me. And all the technique I have are not going to suppress or want to use bondage therapy to cover up an issue. It's going to help you find the cause, heal it for good, not once in a while, but for good, go to the root. And then after that, to be able to move on to the next step. I have a retreat that I call What's Next for Me, finding the next step, the next chapter, manifesting the next chapter of your life. So anybody goes from different chapters like that, in any situation in our life, business while, of course, included. So yeah, when there is an issue, you call me. I mean, I know, Kim, I had been able to help you once, and that's how we met. I mean, we never physically met, and we feel like twin sisters.
We
Because
do.
one day, I don't remember how that happened. I think we were part of the same group on something else.
We were.
Eileen Vincent, maybe, or something like that. I don't know.
I think, yeah, no, I think we were in the same program at the same time with Alina.
Yeah.
And we were all posting in there, doing our work. And I think you reached out to me because you knew my marketing background, and you were having a block about how to do what she was asking us to do. Because we have a lot. The nice thing is when you're in coaching programs, you have a lot of peer support. So so she reached out to me. She's like, "You're really good with marketing. Could you break this down for me?" And I did.
Yeah.
And you were so good. She's like, "Thank you for spending the time." She's, "What can I do for you?" And I know what she does. And I was like, at the time I was just starting to not recover, because I'm still not recovered, but I had just been in a car accident and got banged up pretty bad. And I was having some issues. So I said, can you help me figure out or stop why, young men keep on like not seeing red lights and smacking into me? And she's like, "Ooh, interesting." And it just so happened, never mind the physicality of that, I was having this experience of just feeling disconnected, it wasn't depression, it wasn't anxiety, although, that comes with accidents like the one that I had. It was energetic and I knew it. And, I'm like, who do I, like when it's an energetic problem and you're the success genie and it's happening to you. So she's like, "Tell me more." And we did. And we ended up working together. Because she was like, "I know what's going on." And we had like, "You do?" And she's like, "I do." And like, "Can we fix it?" She's like, "Yes." It was amazing. And I'm not a skeptic, but I know quality healers. I know the real thing from a wannabe. No offense to all the beginners out there. Fabienne is gifted. Fabienne is, I consider her like a member of my dream team. When you are good at what you do, it's like healer cannot heal thyself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a mindset coach who needs a mindset coach, because I have a mind too. I have more, you guys all know I have more issues than tissues. I can't even hide it. It's not even like something I make up. It's just the way it is. So working with Fabienne helped me to know that I was okay. Like nothing was wrong. Something wasn't working, but I knew that.
And you heal yourself.
Well,
because
yeah, but you have, but I want to, but what I love about you, Fabienne, is you were able to create a space for me to say, I'm not okay. And it's okay.
Right.
And you kept on saying to me, "Kim, we're going to get you to trust yourself again. My job is to clear out the blocks. Your job is to trust yourself. I can't help you. I can't trust you for you." And that's why I love you, right? You're like, "Kim, you told me, we did the work. You're like, everything's a go, everything is aligned, but now you have to trust you. That's your job." And it just, did she magically take all my problems away? No, but she cleared the energy blocks so I could handle, myself. And I think this is so important, because there's a lot of people who are stressed out, and you have good reason to be stressed out. Life is hard. It can be easy even when it's hard, but life is hard. And we are in like really interesting times, and growing a business, there's a lot of moving parts. Never mind, you add in kids, you add in aging parents, you add in COVID, you add in like social media and all these great things. There's a lot of demands on our time and our energy. And I always say, it's like building a house. You build a good foundation. You have a strong roof. You have a strong structure. When the hurricane comes, when the winds come, when the rain comes, you'll be okay. You'll be solid. And one of the foundational things that I teach, and that's why I love Fabienne, is you need to manage and build your energy. And energy, look, what is energy? Your belief systems. What is your energy system? It's your connection to spirit, but it's your belief systems. It's your self-esteem. It's knowing who you are and knowing what you're not. It's knowing how the universe works. Like Fabienne, one of the things I know you and I believe in what we teach is that life is always happening for us, never against us. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when it's happening, it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel that way. So there are some spiritual skill set, especially if you're an entrepreneur. And this is another reason why I love Fabienne. I didn't realize this in the beginning, but I learned real quick that the minute you decide to become an entrepreneur, it's a commitment to deal with your spiritual self. It's a commitment, ready or not, to deal with all your demons under the boogeyman under your bed, because all your personal stuff is going to come right here. Like the minute you decide to be an entrepreneur. Whereas when you worked your corporate job, or you could do the 9-to-5 life and deal with everything on the weekends or the evenings. The only thing that you need to master and deal with to become a successful entrepreneur, to build your business beyond yourself, is to learn to deal with your mindset and your spiritual self. If you can do those two things, I can drop you in the middle of Shangri-La, Mojave Desert with nothing, and you can find your way back home. And I think this is really important, especially if you've been investing in coaching programs and skill set training and information, and you've been reading all the books and you've been through therapy and it's not quite all clicking. There might be something going on at the spiritual level that Fabienne can help you with. Fabienne, can you give some real life examples about like business clients or successful clients who are like you and me, right? Like I was starting businesses at 12 years old. Achievement is not my problem. Got a resume of results. Who were burnt out. You know, they were making it happen. They look like a rock star on their resume, but inside, they weren't doing so good.
I have one of my clients. He actually was at my last retreat that I just finished. And he is a colonel in the US Army. He had PTSD. I helped him with his nightmare and stuff with PTSD, working at distance with him. And when he came to the retreat, I finally was able to work with him on his childhood. And what he found out is that an issue he had with alcohol and with blocks in his business, because now he's an artist, he's a painter, and he wants to develop his business. All that was blocked, but he was not addressing the root cause of his relationship when he was a child with his father. So what he discovered is that he thought to show that he loved his dad, he had to be like him, meaning an alcoholic person. And when he had that aha moment that I make him feel that he can still love his dad and honor him and not go that way, it totally made sense with him, and he was able to make a new plan for his future without, he was already not drinking, not having a problem with that, but he couldn't understand why he used to be an alcoholic and still occasionally, so anyway, everything was making sense and bring joy to him. So he didn't feel like he had to betray his dad by being sober. And then for the business, he understood that how his energy, his belief in himself and all that was connected to the lack of success he was having in selling his paintings that are magnificent, beautiful paintings. So that was great. So yeah, again, it all comes very often. It comes from the childhood and unconscious decision we make, belief, and commitment we make.
And I think that I just put earphones in because there's things going out behind me.
I can't hear you, Kim.
Oh, you can't hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, there's background
better.
noise. I don't know if you hear the background noise. That wasn't intentional. Belief, Fabienne, talk about beliefs. And they're not only just in the mind, but they affect your energy. My way of saying it is what you believe you receive. And a belief is just a feeling of certainty, or a feeling of certainty that comes from an experience, or was borrowed, or like handed down. It doesn't have to be your belief, but like your father believed it, your grandfather believed it. So like we all believe it. We don't know why we believe it, but we know we believe it. In sales, I learned all about this in sales, right? Jack Canfield, before he was Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup for the Soul, he was a corporate trainer in sales, and he talked about self-esteem and belief back in the day when no one was talking about self-esteem and belief. From your perspective, why is belief so important? And belief is usually, our fundamental beliefs are usually created in our childhood. And no matter how great of a childhood you had, we all get banged up, bruised up through the process. And I call that's like the journey of your genie getting locked. It happens to all of us. What I like about Fabienne, she's really good about unlocking that genie for you, like I am. What do you explain to your business superstars about belief and them wanting to, have a different lifestyle, or when things aren't working on the business front and money's not flowing, or they're not enjoying their money?
Right.
From your perspective, what's that relationship like?
Well, it's very simple. We need to reprogram the brain, because if a belief is not working for you, if based on your result, and I ask people to be transparent and say the truth, when they work with me, they are not there to cover up or try to make it look good when it's not. There's a reason why they would contact me. It's because there is something that doesn't feel good or is not okay, in their manifestation, anything. And then, so once you identify the belief that is limiting, what we call a limiting belief, that is anchored in your subconscious mind. So we need to reprogram the subconscious mind. And that takes work. That's why I practice hypnotherapy. I have an online program that is called Stress-Free Breakthrough Program, and it reprograms the brain. So any type of stress or of belief system that need to be reprogrammed, anxiety, burnout, any issue like that, we address it, but we give tools. I give tools that they can use over and over and over. And then you are familiar with my healing with Mother Earth. It's the foundation of my work. I give that to everybody. Everyone that is working with me, I ask them to work with the healing with Mother Earth. It's a recording that was given to me, inspired. I didn't one day sit down and say, well, I'm going to create a great CD for my clients. No, it came to me. It was a gift from what I call the higher self, God, whatever you want to call it. And I did the recording, and it's helping people to reprogram what they believe about themselves, about life, about how they can get nurtured, how they can eliminate stress, pain, anything physical and mental and spiritual. Extremely powerful. And at the end, there's affirmations that they use to fall asleep. I ask them to use it for 90 days. And after 90 days, their brain functions differently. It completely rewire everything and work on the belief system as well. Then after that, there is a lot of other different things that are included in the online program. And anytime I work on one-on-one with somebody, I give them access to that, because they need to do their homework. Like you said, I help you clear your energy, but then after that, you had to do your homework.
You have to show up. You have to show up to the job site. You clear the debris, but then you're the build, right? We're the builders. We're the architects of our own life. We got to show up and get to work.
Exactly. It's like when you go exercise. You cannot have a fitness coach. He's not going to do the push-ups for you. He show you how to do them. He helps you. He makes you accountable. It gives you all the structure to be able to do it. But the push-ups, you have to do them yourself, or running or walking.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And that's so, Fabienne, that's a great segue into my next question to you. The coaching industry is going through a lot of changes and a lot of come to Muhammad, come to Jesus, come to Buddha moments, right? And everyone thinks they can learn this in a book. And, they've been trained like, oh, you just watch the videos. And there's a different, and I used to be a voracious reader when I was learning this, when I was on my journey in my 20s, I wanted to learn, and I wanted to just overwhelm my brain with good stuff. I mean, I read like 20 books a week, and I'm telling you, you name a self-help book, I've read it. A lot of it was great. And even going to like a informational seminar, like, Anthony Robbins was my first coach that ever got me get out of my own way. I love him. And you go to the classes, you go to the seminars, and there's always like that one thing at 6 o'clock in the morning. And it's like, I really can't call Anthony at 6 o'clock and say, I forgot what you said. Or you get a book and you try to, implement the steps. It's not the same as working with a hands-on coach, right? And we all think we can just read the book. Can you speak to the difference between learning online, which is good, we all need to get information, and having someone work with you to retrain your brain and hear those little thoughts that might just go whizzing by that need to be like brought back over and addressed? Can you talk to that issue?
Absolutely. And I cannot say about all the coach, because I think they are different than what I do on that level, is that I have, because of my intuition, and like I said, I was born a medium, so I see way more than what they even know about themselves. And that's what they always tell me. They say, how do you know that? And I say, well, I know because I know.
I know who I am. Yeah, I know what I do.
And those are the gifts that I have. I know the truth. I see the truth. And so I can guide them better in the sense that I can put them back asking themselves the right questions. You see, you are a good interviewer because you know how to tune into the question that is going to be relevant. That's a gift. You have that intuition.
I do. I'm the Barbara Walters of coaching.
And with your coaching for business is the same thing. You are going to be able to sense what they are lacking to see, what they are not viewing. It's right in front of their face. It's on their desk or whatever, and they don't see it. Well, that's the same with me. I am able to have somebody on the phone. I don't even need to see them physically or anything, and be able to tune in and know exactly what's going on in their mind. And I see their past, and I can see their future if they stay in align with the same energy. You know what I mean? Because the future is only the reflection of what we do about the past and how we deal with it in the present. So yeah, it's really powerful because they cannot tell me stories. I had a client, he's in New York, and that was before I met him. I would tell him, please stand up, stay up, don't. And he said, how do you know?
Hiding himself.
How do you know? Because I was not visually seeing him, right? I said, remember, I am clairvoyant. I see you. I know how you stand. I know that you are like that right now. So make yourself tall and high, and go exercise, go walk, or whatever. I would give him advice that had nothing to do with the business. And he was like, what? And finally he understood. He understood that it's energy. If you want to be big, if you want to be successful, and then you don't pay attention to your posture and you let negative thoughts affect you day and day. I just wrote an article on the movie mind, the movie mind. We have obsessions. We have ideas that come and obsess us. And that movie needs to stop if we want to function. So I'm giving them techniques on how to identify those thoughts and then control them. Because like you said, we need to control our mind in one way or the other. Otherwise, we are controlled by it.
Yeah.
And who controls those thoughts? Like you said, the media, our parents, when we were young, who were telling us a story and we believe the story. It's only a story. So we need to identify those stories and be able to control what we decide that we want.
Yes.
As our real experience, our real identity, instead of following to be passive, and then basically go from being victimized, because a lot of people have been victimized and we cannot deny it, but not to identify as a victim. If you identify
Yes,
yourself,
yes.
as long as you
Yeah.
stay a victim, you cannot heal. There is no way. So I am a PTSD specialist. I work with Marines. I work with firefighters, with women who had been raped, and I help them
Take
go
back
from,
their power. Take back their power.
yeah, and heal, because they can heal from it and understand, the purpose of whatever happened, even if it's terrible. And that's empowerment. So empowerment. And then the next step of working with me is creativity. I am an artist. I'm a creative person. I believe in creativity. Creativity is receiving and connecting with your guidance, and you express it in any way. You can be cooking dinner and be a creative person. You can be
Yes.
cook. I'm going to take care of my roses later on outside. This is creative. This is being one
Yeah.
with creation, and
You know,
contributing to the beauty and the and
whatever lights up your soul. Yeah.
yeah,
Me, I'm like, if it's not fun, it's not getting done. So if it needs to get done, go find some fun.
yeah,
Yeah. I don't think enough people are talking about how creativity calls in,
right.
right? Clients, and creativity calls in cash. And to me, creativity is like our fuel. Like, people think it's like, well, are you really a genie? Like, I am, but I don't use my hands, and I don't twitch my nose, and I don't blink my eyes. But by tapping into the creativity and to your your soul's energy, yeah, you can do some really cool things that, Hollywood never could really show on screen, even with, CIG. So I love it, Fabienne. And I'm so happy to introduce you to our community, because, this is not taught in school. You can only glean certain things from books, and no offense, a lot of the books are wrong. You know, People have a lot of misconceptions of what manifestation is. And, the law of, everyone knows the law of attraction because of the movie, The Secret. And I have to remind people that wasn't a tutorial, that was a marketing movie. It was to introduce the idea, but there's like 100 laws, that work into conjunction. And unless you want to become a PhD and go spend your time in a monastery learning of everything, there's wonderful people like you, right? Who can make it simple, make it practical, and, teach you how to drive this thing called, your body. And, what I love about you is you never make us feel, you never judge. You've never, I know working with you, my mind was telling me so many stories, and you were always so like, it's okay. And, we can look at it this way, or like, and you don't have to believe that anymore. Or, like, that's in the past. Because too many times I've heard my clients say, like, when I've done our weekends to unlock the Genie weekend, and we kind of introduce them to energy management and how the brain works. Oh, my mind is bad. That's not what I said. Your mind is doing its job. It's criticizing, it's judging, it's protecting. The fact that it doesn't realize that, there's something better outside of its purview is not its fault. However, it's a process to learn to be the master of your mind. And I always say, have you ever met somebody who has like a problem like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or a stroke, where they don't have command over their mind? Not fun. That the mind is a gift. I call it the expression machine. But left on its own accord, it's like a 2-year-old having a temper tantrum. It will just go run amok. So what I love in the work that I did with you understanding all that, you were able to bring down the judgment, and you created a wonderful space for me to see things as they were, not as my mind was telling me they are.
And remove the fear.
Yes, you gave me a space, and you grounded me, which I'm so grateful for, to just sit and trust that I was okay, even though I wasn't feeling okay. And that there was a way to be okay, to feel like what you knew, like it's just, you're okay, but I wasn't feeling that way. what is the best way for people, if people are intrigued and like, I want to get to know Fabienne a little bit more. I like her. I want you to like her. She's one of my personal peeps. And, whether you've worked with me or you haven't worked with me, if you feel drawn to her, I totally support you in reaching out to her. Fabienne, and I will make sure, she's going to tell you now by the time this gets uploaded, officially, and I go in and tag everything, I will have this information in the description. So don't worry if you're like, oh my God, I don't have a pen. Fabienne, tell us how the community, can reach out to you to get to know you and learn more about your wonderful weekends and your coaching and just be a little bit more active in your world.
Well, I'm offering a free webinar. In a private Facebook group that is called Spiritual High Achievers. Actually, there's no plural. It's Spiritual High Achiever on Facebook. And then, of course, my website is my name, FabienneMarneau.com. But I love the free webinar because that gives them a chance. I do hot seat every time on it. So I give example of what they can expect by working with me. I like to call what I do practical spirituality. Practical spirituality, because to me, it's like love. If you don't show love, this is not love. If you don't make it practical, it's not spirituality. You can say a lot of blah, blah, blah about spirituality, but if you are not applying it, what is really love? Love for yourself, love for others, and everything is about service. If you have a business, you are serving people in one way or the other. So first you love yourself, then you put yourself at service of others, and you trust that you'll receive more than you give. We always receive more than we give, so we don't have to worry about it. And so anyway, that's a good way to.
So the Facebook group, which we're going to put in the description below, your website, is there any other place that you want them to get to know you and more about what you do?
Well, I also have a YouTube channel. So it's also under my name, Fabienne Marneau, or Destination Harmony, I don't remember. But anyway, through my website, you can always find the YouTube, and I can send you the link because I don't remember.
Yeah, you're going to send me the link, and I'm going to make sure it's all here.
Because it's fun with YouTube to see videos, and I share stuff. And of course, I have my blog. I have my blog on my website, FabienneMarneau.com. And so I am very accessible,
yes, you don't live upon high and like, yes.
And I respond personally. I don't have a team that takes care of my answer on Facebook, YouTube, or, you can contact me directly through my website. And when I do obviously the free webinars, it's me, so it's easy to be live. They are live. People get the recording if they are in a different country or the time zone is not good for them. They can, once they register, they can have the reply for a certain time.
Awesome.
So it's easy to connect.
Yeah. I love that.
Thank you.
And Fabienne's also a member of our Facebook community, Business Owners Growing to 7 Figures.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you want to just get to know Fabienne as the wonderful individual that she is, she's always active and sharing her gifts in our room. And if you're like, I think I need to know Fabienne as the wonderful alchemist that she is, I totally encourage you to check out her website, her blog, and her free webinar. Fabienne, thank you for being here with me. I haven't done conversations with Kim in a while, so thank you for being the person that we kicked it off again with. It's an honor to be with you, and I look forward to catching up on the other side. But if you're watching this, please leave some comments. Let us know your big takeaway. If you have questions, you can reach out I'll make sure you have the link to Fabienne herself. You can send her questions. You can post them here. You can reach out to me at Kim at Success Genie, or on Facebook at Success Genie, my fan page. And we are here to help you create the success that you desire, because as I say it, success is your birthright. And you need to believe what you want to receive. And if you're having trouble with that, Fabienne is a wonderful person to reach out to. And I know I'm very glad that I did. So I love you, Fabienne. Thank you for being here and letting people experience your brilliance. And tune in. I'm going to be doing new interviews Wednesdays at 1 o'clock live, and they will stay here on YouTube. So you can have them as a tutorial anytime you want. And if there's a hot topic you want, or there's a person that you want me to interview on a subject that is near and dear to your heart, or that you need more than air, I'm happy to hear all about it. Until next time, see you on the other side.